Oh, hello, this is Tak Chung from Walk with Tak. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video and would like to receive notifications of my future video postings, please subscribe. I have a friend that will call him Jim for the purpose of this video. He is a highly regarded chef in a Chicago restaurant. Since he is a chef himself, I remember once I asked him, I said, so where did you go for your birthday dinner? He said to me, for my birthday dinner, I just go home and cook it myself, because this way I can cook exactly what I like to eat instead of cooking what other people want to eat. As I have become a more competent cook myself, I start to realize what he means. Now for my birthday, I told my wife that I don't need to go anywhere for my birthday dinner. I just cook it myself. This is exactly what I did for my birthday dinner this year. In this video, I'm going to show you that I make a 3-course dinner for my birthday. I really enjoyed this dinner, not only for the flavor, but I also enjoyed it because I was able to pick whatever ingredients that I have in the refrigerator. And also because of template-based cooking, I was able to cook this dish with spontaneity and creativity. In fact, most of the dishes that I cook for this meal, I have never cooked them in the same way before. I feel like that I'm just like a painter in my art studio. I just took whatever paint that I have and make the picture as I feel like it. After the dinner, I feel this sense of burst of creativity really lifts my spirit. So let me tell you what I did for this dinner. I cooked a 3-course meal. The first dish is a pork dish with jalapeno pepper, which I enjoy the spiciness. The second dish is a braca dish with purple cabbage and shrimp. I love shrimp. And the third dish is a soy tofu puff with tomato. Again, I love soy tofu puff. So all these 3 dishes contain ingredients that I really enjoy. The first thing I did when I walked into the kitchen is that I took out some ground pork that I've frozen ahead, as well as some shrimp, and I set them into the sink with some water to thaw them out. Because the way how the shrimp and the pork are being prepped, they could be thawed out in about 5 to 10 minutes. All the vegetable ingredients are already prepped in advance in the refrigerator. I only need to maybe cut up a few things. All of this takes me only about 10 minutes. By the time when I gather all the rest of the ingredients, the pork is already thawed out. So I'm going to cook the pork dish first. For this whole meal, I'm going to use my Cuisinart 14-inch stainless steel wok. I'm going to spot season the wok before I start. If you are not familiar with this seasoning method, you can take a look at this video. Once the wok is ready, I'm going to add about 8 ounces of pork to the wok, and I'm going to use my spatula to spread them out so they could be cooked evenly. After cooking the pork for about 20 to 25 seconds, I'm going to add about ½ cup of onion and 1/4 cup of jalapeno pepper. Both the jalapeno pepper and the onions were finely chopped, so they cook very quickly with the pork. Next, I'm going to add about ½ cup of frozen corn. Now, I don't need to thaw out the corn because it will thaw while I cook them in the wok. The stainless steel wok spatula was very useful because I could use it to break up the corn. After I have stir-fried the ingredients for about 20 to 30 seconds, next I add about 1 tablespoon of fermented black soybean. Furthermore, I'm going to flavor the dish with some dark soy sauce, some oyster sauce, and some hoisin sauce. And with this flavoring agent together with the jalapeno pepper will give this dish an excellent flavor. Okay, the dish is done, and the total cook time is about 4 minutes. I really enjoyed this dish because the texture of the pork and as well as the flavoring, and they mix very, very well with rice. I now set this dish aside and I give the wok a quick cleaning in the sink. The wok did really, really well. There's nothing much stick to it. and I'm now ready to cook the next dish. The next dish I'm going to cook is the shrimp with broccoli and purple cabbage. I small season the wok before I add the shrimp. The shrimp cook very quickly, and you can tell when the shrimp start to have this bouncy texture, you know the shrimp is being sealed and cooked very well. This will retain the moisture and the texture of the shrimp. I did not add any seasoning to the shrimp because I want to maintain the natural flavor of the shrimp. I then transfer the shrimp to a dish and set them aside, and now I'm going to cook the broccoli and purple cabbage. As you can tell, some of the remnants of the shrimp has burned and stuck to the bottom of the wok, but that's quite okay because the broccoli will pick up the flavor from the shrimp. It is important for the broccoli to be well coated with oil. That will cook the floret to a nice texture. Therefore, I add a little bit more oil to make sure there's enough oil on the surface of the broccoli. The broccoli now looks real good. So the next, I'm going to add the purple cabbage into the wok. I chop up the purple cabbage pretty fine, so that will accelerate their cooking. After I make sure that the purple cabbage is well coated with oil and properly fried, next I add water to steam the vegetables. Okay, after a few quick stirring, the dish is done. I transfer the dish to a plate, and then I put the shrimp right over the dish. Now, I did not season the dish because personally I love the natural flavor of the broccoli and the cabbage. The total cook time of this dish is about 6 minutes. So things are moving along very well. Next, I'm going to cook the soy tofu puff dish. Again, the wok did really well because when I steamed the vegetable, it cleaned off all the stuff that has stuck to the bottom of the wok. After I heat up the wok and spot season it, I add onion and green bean to the wok. I stir fry the contents for about 30 to 40 seconds until the green bean achieve the type of texture that I was looking for. I next add the tomato and the soy tofu puff to the wok. I add quite a bit of tomatoes because I love the flavor of the tomatoes in this dish, particularly when they being absorbed by the soy tofu puff. At this point, I did a taste testing. Everything tastes really well. So to have the more soup in this dish so that the tofu puff can absorb it, I add more water to the wok. I season the dish with oyster sauce because oyster sauce goes really well with tofu, and I also season it with a little bit of hoisin sauce. Since I'm cooking this dish for myself, I season it relatively lightly. Not only I do not like dish to be too salty, for the same time I also use less salt for health reasons. So the last step in cooking this dish is by adding some cornstarch to thicken the sauce because this will allow the tofu puff to have a much rich flavor. Okay, all the dishes are cooked. This tofu dish takes about probably maybe 8 minutes to cook. So to get this birthday dinner from start to finish, it takes about 30 minutes. This dinner is a good demonstration of my fast cooking system with flavor chasing, advanced prepping, stir frying, and template-based cooking. You can execute the process of cooking this meal with almost a complete spontaneity and creativity. I find myself to be almost like an artist executing a work of art. I do not follow any recipe. There's no restriction and no confinement in what I was doing. When I put this meal on the table, not only I feel great that I have made it, but I also feel really relaxed and happy. I think this is probably the most delicious birthday dinner that I could make for myself, not only from the standpoint of flavor, but also from the standpoint of how I feel about it. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like icon below. This will help me to expand my audience base. I've been posting my video on a regular basis. I try to do it one a day. So if you'd like to receive notification of my future video postings, please subscribe to my channel. I'll see you next time.